Public figures, scientists, Nobel Prize laureates, experts from the countries of the Global South – Colombia, Qatar, Chile, Indonesia, South Africa, Nicaragua, India, Kazakhstan and other countries, together with Ukrainian colleagues, gathered in Kyiv at the Crimea Global Conference. Among the main topics is life in annexed Crimea. After all, having occupied the peninsula, the Russian Federation deployed a repressive machine there. Experts say that Crimean Tatars are more often victims of illegal sentences. This is how Moscow is trying to erase the identity of the indigenous peoples of Ukraine.
Russia kills Muslims or puts them in prison. 123 Crimean Tatars are Muslims out of 186 political prisoners. They are Crimean Tatars, Sunnis, Muslims. So what kind of friend is Russia for Islam? What they spread through their propaganda throughout the world?
These are hundreds of children. They mention 210 children left without parents. But I'm not sure about these statistics because it is constantly changing. These are constant searches of houses. Imagine the state in which people live there. They always live in fear. How these searches are carried out? At 4 in the morning, at 6 in the morning. People hidden their faces. Law enforcement officers break in. Doors are knocked down. Windows are broken. So-called forbidden literature is thrown in. Any reason is found to detain, and these searches are carried out not only in houses, but also in mosques and templates.
Only the deoccupation of Crimea and its reintegration into the information and cultural space of Ukraine will mark the end of Russia's war against Ukraine. After all, the Federation's aggression began precisely with the annexation of the peninsula in 2014 and not in February 2022, experts remind.
Responsibility and justice are part of the peace formula of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. There is no peace without justice, and Ukraine, since the beginning of this aggression, since 2014 when Crimea was occupied, has been working out all tracks and using all kinds of international legal instruments to hold Russia as a state, as well as its citizens, accountable.
Russian aggression,
It is very important that now, in the midst of Russian military aggression against Ukraine, we are meeting in Kiev and talking to you about a formula for peace. About a year ago, the president of Ukraine announced the peace formula during the G20 summit in Indonesia. And then it sounded like some kind of regular initiative from Ukraine. But by presenting this initiative, the president clearly demonstrated and continues to demonstrate today that Ukraine, the Ukrainian people, are a country and a nation striving for peace, but peace not on Russian terms, and the Russian conditions are very obvious: a ceasefire and the freezing of conflict.
To freeze the war means to indulge the aggressor, experts are sure, and the victory of Ukraine is important not only for Kyiv but also for the entire civilized world. After all, Russia's aggression has provoked many other problems, including the food crisis, which has hit the well-being of the countries of the Global South.
You need to win this war. And the victory of Ukraine will be the victory of us around the world. I think that you are, as a country, doing the right thing, huge sacrifice. I think that we cannot ask more. But if we could give some ideas, I think that it's important to continue to communicate that this is not a binational issue. It's not a binational conflict. It's actually a global conflict, and the future of Ukraine is deeply linked to the future of global democracy and freedom. And I think if the rest of the world understands that what is happening right now with this invasion of Russia against Ukraine will actually define the global order.
When the Russian Federation says that here it is necessary to fight against Nazism and other negative phenomena that interfere with the freedom to speak or express one's religion, I will say that this is not true. We as Africans, as Muslims, when the full-scale invasion began, also united in territorial defense. Some Africans, like me, help Ukrainian through volunteer organizations. We have been working for almost a year and 2 months to restore houses that were destroyed during the attacks, Bucha, Irpin and other regions of Ukraine. We also sent medicine, clothing and food to the front.
The residents of the peninsula themselves are waiting for the deoccupation of Crimea by the Ukrainian armed forces. According to human rights activists, Ukrainian slogans are increasingly being written on Russian banknotes, and blue and yellow symbols are appearing in populated areas of the region. The strengthening of resistance is also indicated by new illegal administrative proceedings in the courts under the article on discrediting the armed forces of the Russian Federation. There are already more than 500 such cases. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Larisa Zubenko, UATV News.